Good evening, everyone. So, next session, we at Metaverse Forum again and Site 2022 for Startup Innovation Thailand Expo 2022. Today we have so many knowledge and from expertise from the many experts to exchange the ideas and concept or mindset on innovation that we are get ready to reconnect to the world as we come with the concept reconnecting the world for the innovative city. So I would like everyone who are in Metaverse, you can catch up all programs in these 3 days. Next topic is gonna be Bangkok EV City by Dr. Yosapong Laonuan, the Assistant President of King Mongkut Technology Institution, Thonburi. And today we're gonna take a look on EV vehicle market in Thailand, how it's gonna be. Let's take a look. What many people, more and more people are now interested in electric vehicle and what's opportunity, what's obstacle in Bangkok. Let's take a look from Dr. Yosapong. So hello, good evening everyone, both on-site and online audience. Today we have got an interesting topic for the Site 2022 organized by National Innovative Agency. Today this session topic is EV updates in the world and Thailand. And today we have been honored to have Dr. Yosapong Laonuan, who's working at King's Mongkut Technology Thonburi Institution, and he also the chairperson of the Association of EV in Thailand. Professor, as for the EV, this is the hot topic nowadays, both in Thailand and international community. The sale volumes now been increasing, and this is like trend or mega trend for consumer and also those who interested in EV, electric vehicle. Can you please give us the current update situation of EV in Thailand and in global community? Okay, let's start with me sharing you back 10 years back of the EV. You see there are probably lots of abbreviation. EV is electric vehicle or electric car. 100% PHEV is hybrid vehicle. It still have the engine, but it can also use electric vehicle. Is kind of hybrid, but usually EV is the 100% electric. So if we when look 10 years back, we see the growth has been changed drastically. Starting with 2011, that the EV sale volume that time is quite small, and up until it can sell up to million cars per year, it was 2017. And when it's 2020, it's become 3 million sale volume. And you see different colors, it means different countries. So so just 1 year, from 2020 to 2021, it's been up from 3 million to 6 million car. And it's the year that we got COVID-19. And actually, the sale volume of the auto industry been dropped. But how come EV has been up? I have to tell you that the global community using 80 million cars worldwide. So this number is not even 1% of the global market. But when we take a look on this, it's been growing drastically, significantly. So it shows that how come electric vehicle has come to demand with high demand. And you see the graph in the right hand side. Number one is Tesla. The green graph. This is the green color is EV and the blue color is PHEV. For example, like Volkswagen, they have two groups, both green and blue, BEV and PHEV. Some company have only have only single type, but many companies have both types. In 2021, the sale volume is almost 1 million for Volkswagen. Or that's Tesla for almost 1 million car. So Tesla has become the leading company in EV market. And we have seen some Tesla running in Thailand, right? Yes, that we heard the news. I'm a detective. They register in the new name company. They start to penetrate Thai market. I mean Tesla. And in the past, we call Thailand is gray market because it's the independent dealer, importer, and now it's become more official. So yeah, I think it's quite interesting that Tesla penetrate Thai market. In this graph, this is the. We will take a look at the global level first. In 2021, from 2010 to 2021, you see that accumulative car has been growing drastically. That we now end up to have 16 million car. Sorry, some technical.
ไม่รู้ว่าทำไมพอแชร์จากตรงนี้แล้วมันหลุดไป
Sorry for technical problems. Yeah, we've been talking about the amount of cars. So this is the accumulative from 2010 to 2021. It's been selling.
ครับก็ประเทศจีนก็เป็นอันดับหนึ่งเลยที่มีรถยนต์ไฟฟ้าสะสม
It is a sale volume from 2010 to 2021 that we've seen EV more than 6 million, but EV including BEV is more than 8 million car. That we see that the proportion of BEV is much higher than PHEV, but now the market more on BEV, and there's a forecast what could be the future. This is of Bloomberg. They made this slide from what I said. Actually, there almost 90 million cars, but it's dropped during COVID-19 at 70, and it's been predicting that it keep rising. And before we come back to the number of 2019, it's going to take some years. Then we see the BEV and PHEV is both increasing. And we still the internal combustion or traditional car is still part of this proportion, and 2035 you will see half proportion. So it means for about 10 years from now, more than of the sale volume is going to be EV. This is the global market.
ที่เนี่ยเขามอง
So just now the scenario just now was economic transition scenario, and this one was created by Bloomberg economic transition scenario or ETS and NZS or next zero scenario, because now we have been talking quite a bit about net zero carbon. So you can see the dotted line and a solid line. They have used different colors, greenish and pinkish color. So there are some countries who will be in the leading position in growing market share. So for the green colors, the green color represent leading countries, and the dotted lines are net zero scenario, and everyone is aiming towards this goal. South Korea, Germany, and China have a very high proportion of growth, and it has been predicted that we're going to reach almost 100% net zero scenario in 2030. So, and if you move to the right hand side, there are some companies, Japan, Australia, US, they are now catching up. And for the NZS, it's very similar. They will reach 100% in 2030, but for economic transition, it might take longer time for the leading companies. They're going to reach 100% after 2050. But for the leading companies, they're going to reach 100% at 2040. And countries in Southeast Asia, for example, India, and the rest of the world, they are a little late in this scenario. But still, their growth for the normal scenario, for ETS, it will take them maybe even after 2050 to reach 100% of ETS. But for net zero scenario, probably they're going to reach about almost 80% or maybe around 100% around 2035. And I think for Thailand, we could be in the middle group or the catching up group. From the perspective, this is the overview of Southeast Asia countries. We are not that late, but we are in the groups that are trying to catch up. And these slides here present the overview of growth of different countries. Of course, we need to know who are leaders, who are catching up, and who are latecomers. And when we look at these diagrams, graphs here, we can see diversity of models. The data presented here is from 2017, and many players jump into this and working on EV technologies. So how come it takes so long for the advancement in this technology? It was because the cost of battery per kilowatt hour, it was about $1,200 per kilowatt hour. And now at 2020, the price dropped significantly. But of course, now the price has jumped due to several factors. But of course, we still hope that this will be just a short-term problems. And here I would like to show you that who are the leaders in the global markets and the trends of the pricing in the past several years and make electric vehicle more affordable. I would like to ask additional questions. So for ion battery, what would be the trend of consumption, limitation of consumption, if the price continues to drop? I think it comes to demand and supply, because now the price might be a little bit higher than the average compared to the past year. We have higher demand, but the supply side is still catching up. So the price will reflect this. The price will be higher. But before this, we may have the issue of low production, low demand, low supply, and high production costs. But now we are going through the transition period, and we are going through the learning curve. Of course, the price shows a downward trend, but this year could be the year 2022. The average cost has risen, but because of the free market, everyone will try to increase the production and to make that price point more competitive. Here we are going through the period of transition. The sellers or CATL, 10 years ago, nobody knew about this company, but today this company has become the leader in the battery market for EV. Of course, everyone's trying to step up to be in the leading position. There are several companies that would like to jump into this market. And with the lack in demand, with the lack in supply or the demand, of course, everything has to be adjusted. Overall, the price might be on the downward trend, but in some period, the price may go up. It's very clear. Thank you very much for sharing regarding the situation of battery.
ครับ
This is the global picture. Now let's take a look in Thailand picture. We have the National Electric Vehicle Policy Committee that's been set up on 7 February 2020 and chaired by Deputy Prime Minister. And we have many people, key driver, air pollution reduction, and I'm also one of the committees. So what's the key driver? First is to make Thailand to be the production base for EV and also the parts. Why we have to do EV? Because in Thailand, we have to reduce the pollution. When it's close to winter, we're gonna have PM 2.5 particle issue. Number two is net zero. This is the global trend. It's a greenhouse gas reduction to reduce CO2. So the EVs can help a lot on this. Number three, the key driver. We can create the new industry because Thailand is actually now the auto production hub already. So that's how Thailand should be the hub for EV. And we have long-term goal, probably not about the endorsement. And we set a goal in 2013 that Thailand towards 100% zero emission vehicle or CEV and sell by 2035. But we probably target 2030 or 2030 that we would like to have EV, and we have another term, zero emission vehicle or ZEV. There's no carburetor at all. So in 2030, we want 30% of the auto production in Thailand is EV, both auto and motorcycle. both kind of motorcycle. But for the sale, it means that 50% of 2030 and motorcycle 40%. For the buses, probably have higher proportion, and tuk-tuk should be 100% in 2030. So apart from cars and motorcycle, we see the charger, station charger, right? That we would like to have 12,000 outlets. But for motorcycle, we would like to see 1,450 stations. So that's the overall national EV policy. We also have incentive by the BOI, and plus with what I said, if we want to produce in Thailand, we can reduce tax, and with the government subsidy and subsidy for 100,000 baht for motorcycle, 8,000 baht, for example, and we have set the price. If anyone doing business for the EV charger, we will have a special rate for them so that they can sell and gain margin, sell the power for set up the EV charger. And when they do the registration, it should be cheaper annual registration fee. And also the government EV fleet policy should happen. Okay, and then user subsidies. So this is what should be happen. I probably don't go into detail, but this is the overall EV policy of Thailand, that as we said, it can reduce the import tax. If the price lower than 2 million baht, they can tax exempt. And the subsidy 18,000 baht, for example, including pickup car and motorcycle is 18,000 baht, for example. But there we have to sign MOU and the private sector to get this program. So we need to have the long-term plan here. In 2025, we have to get ready for this plan. And also we have package, BOI promotion package for EV, and including the parts. In short, we should attract investment from foreign investors. This is a good opportunity to allow small business in Thailand to grow. And this is the current EV status in Thailand. If we take a look in this picture, the tendency similar to other countries. In 2017 to 2021, you see different colors here. The yellow color is the hybrid, and also the PHEV and the BEV. And you see 2020, the market tendencies get higher from 3,000 to be 5,700 cars EV. And for this growth, the registered car of 5,700 cars, the BEV will be on next slide. BEV is 11,000 EV car out of at the end by the end of 2021. And we see the cars 4,000 and motorcycle 1,000, for example. And we've seen this as the growing market, even though in global picture we can sell only 1 million cars per year, but it still keep growing, as we see by proportion. Even though now the number is like 10,000 comparing to other countries. So this is the EV model selling in the market. There are many of them. many brand, many makers, many models, many and different prices. It's very varied. And this is another example of EV car developed in Thailand. I call this e-local EV in Thailand. There are few companies. We did the electric scooter, electric bus, electric tuk-tuk, or three-wheel, taxi three-wheel. So it probably not focus on the sedan, but we still have many other options.
And also for the another thing that I would like to talk about here is EV charging station. We have normal charging rate and quick charger. So of course there are many players from energy sector, PTT, the Electricity Authority of Thailand, and 3 or 4 startups. For example, eVolt, GridVis. Excuse me, and just now when you talk about normal charge and fast chargers, the timing of charging, what's the significance of the timing for charging? What would be the impact in terms of the consumer expectation or behavior in the future? Actually, for normal charging, it's done at home. It takes about 6 to 8 hours, but for the quick charging, it takes less time. Maybe 1 hour to full, or maybe 30 minutes or 20 minutes is enough for you to continue your journey. Because you may take a rest for an hour, have a meal, and have your car charged at the same time. We also have the AC. The quick charge is DC or direct current, but for the normal charge is alternate current or AC. And actually, I think we have over 700 charging stations and more than 2,000 dispensing units or the dispensing outlet, all the sockets. So what we have is here AC type 2 for quick charge or DC charger. So we have the combo type 1 or combo type 2 from Germany, combo type 1 from the US, for combo type 2 from Europe, and we have the charger, the socket, and the inlet type from Japan as well. So this is the overall sockets and inlet standard. And of course, we see the trend, the global trend and trends in Thailand in how we're going to move on the use of EV, and also the government agencies with their supportive policies. And what about the educational institute? What would be the future direction? I think in terms of the educational sector, myself are in this sector as well. So I've started to see many agencies that start providing short courses, short-term trainings. For example, at Prajom Kao Thonburi, they have set up Prajom Kao Thonburi Mobile Research Center or Mobility Research Center, and I'm also part of the advising committee. We also help with the policy setup, provide consulting and advice to the government. About 6 or 7 years ago, it was a time when we integrate and combine the educational sector and the public sectors working together. It was a trend because it's also the global trend, so that could be the reason why these changes have occurred. So, and I think the perspective from private sectors are very important, because for educational players, if they work on this area, but they don't have any support from the private sector. That could be very difficult for the educational institute to work and to move on in this arena.
เป็นคนขาย
For example, PTT, who is the energy seller, now they have take a look of the supply chain picture from upstream to midstream to downstream. That we have heard there are lots of investment in this, and at the end, mobility service they have EV rental, and also selling power and charging station. So I have seen many private companies have involved in this, and we also seen the small charging, some small SME involved in the charging EV, like pop cars, for example. So there are lots of changes in the big scale and small scale that they've seen opportunities, and some SME who was the builder of the bus structure, but now they shift to be the EV bus themselves. So there's lots of changes. As we've seen lots of growth in this industry exponentially. But during COVID-19, we have seen this. From your perspective, you think what's the factors of why it's growing exponentially like this, even during COVID-19? I think it's the global trend, and we see the global market numbers even higher than Thai market, because EV first is it helps a lot of environment, and so number one, they have purchasing power to buy it, to afford it. And if you can choose, then there's a small group of people who are the pioneering that I'm ready to change. I would like to take this option. I would like to help for environment. I think there's a group of people with this mentality, and some people think maybe the investment may be a lot, but in long term, the expense of EV is much safer. Even especially this year, the fuel prices and the oil prices have been very expensive. Now you've seen it saved lots of money because with the EV, and they think that. But I think we can solve this issue. But now there's a high demand for EV with the factors of the oil price. Now the price average in the past it was 1 million baht. Now it's dropped to 800,000 baht. So now it become a good alternative. Of course, we need to change the consumers' behavior. We need to take the study. Yeah, consumer needs to educate themselves to take a look on the benefit of EV. What about Thailand and Bangkok especially? Is there any chance that we could be the production hub of EV? Is there any possibility? I think Thailand has lots of potential in this industry. Now we have seen many new companies invested in Thailand, at least 2 from China, and also those who already existing player is also involving in this industry. So I think Thailand still have the key role in this industry. Before you leave, what about the tendency and direction for the small startup? How can they get to this trend with the mega trend, with the global attention? I think for SME, there's still room for their involvement. and contribution because EV startup in Thailand it's been happened just 4 years ago when it hasn't been the trend yet. So there's a room of opportunity that they can raise fund, and I think what I've seen is that the conversion of motorcycle, there are more players in this segment, but we still have to take a look on other segment like the second-hand cars. Then is it worth to invest, or is it worth to invest in EV as alternative because of the oil price? So before we leave, you have any residue message for the researcher to keep the clearer picture on this? I think this is the global trend, and the key issue is that when we use EV, it reduces lots of air pollution, CO2, and also there's a room to develop many innovations. So I believe this is the transitional period. First, we have to understand the technology, and we have to try to understand what's the gaps that they can fill up. Okay. Maybe they have to take a look. I have seen 4 or 5 startups, car sharing, charging, or do the tuk-tuk sharing. So this is probably the other kinds of trend, like other kinds of charging that can buy with crypto. I'm not sure cryptocurrency, but there's then that group and to secure trading, energy trading, because charging is about trading energy. So I think it's probably a new trend for the charging EV. So SME can take a look on this, what's missing, and they can fill the gap. There are not many companies creating different apps that how can it easy to use. So this is some example. That I'm sure there's still room for contribution. I think we have seen the clearer picture, and as Dr. Yosapong have gave us the big picture and the global picture of Thailand and global market on behalf of National Innovation Agency. Thank you very much for your contribution and sharing your knowledge and experience. May we invite you again in the future and have you to support a startup and also especially involving with EV. So thank you very much, Dr. Yosapong. Thank you very much. Thank you. My pleasure.
ได้เลยค่ะต้องขอขอบ
So thank you very much, Dr. Associate Professor Dr. Yosapong Laonuan, the Assistant President of King Mongkut Technology Institute, Thonburi, EV City, Bangkok, Thailand. So we have seen the big picture of this industry, and he himself is an expert, and that's another interesting topic. And we're gonna continue into the next session that's gonna run into English and with the last session of today. So if you still with us, please be with us, stay tuned. The emerging issues in Asia Startup Hub.
Distinguished speakers are going to discuss about the topic of emerging issues in Asia Startup Hub. So in this topic, if we talk about the Global Startup Hub is an important mechanism to accelerate the growth of startup in order to develop an ecosystem that is ready to and also able to support the rapid expansion of startup businesses. So in this topic, our speakers are going to find out the answer of the question of how are startups in Asia preparing for a recovery after the easing of the COVID-19 situation, whether in terms of infrastructure, laws, regulations, investment privileges, and related policies. So right now, we'd like to introduce to you our distinguished speaker. Start from Ong Yan Lim, Assistant Director, Risk, Capital and International Action Community for Entrepreneurship Singapore. Secondly, Evan Yom, Director, Digital Industry Development, Tech Ecosystem and Globalization, MDEC, Malaysia, together with Mr. Ted Suwagi Miura, Director of Global Startup Promotion, Fukuoka City Government, and also Akiko Nakagawa, Global Startup Center, Fukuoka City, Japan, and lastly, with Ruye Chen, Chief Executive Officer, Task Park WHA. So right now, please enjoy with this session. Thank you very much.